Hey guys! So today I'm going to be cutting up this t-shirt from Hamburger Disco. Notice all the hamburgers. It's a size small and it fits really snug. And I'm going to be cutting up the entire back of the shirt into a new design. So I'll show you guys how to transform this into this. So here's how it looks. What do you guys think? So the first thing I always do is cut off the neckline. So since this is a small and it's really snug t-shirt, I kind of want a wider neck. So I'm going to do 2 fingers width on the outside of the collar and 1 finger below the neckline since I don't want it too deep. So basically the line's going to be from there to under here to 2 fingers width again here. So I usually use 2 fingers width because it's about 1 inch. So that's just how I estimate. I don't like to draw lines and then cut. So I just like to freestyle and just eyeball it. And once you get to the middle point, you can just flip over the neckline so you can match the same shape. So you can stretch it out, and at this point, try on a t-shirt and make sure the neckline is fits how you want. If not, you can always go wider, go deeper. So always start small, cut less, and then you can always cut more after. And next I'm going to cut off the bottom hem. So I usually just do a snip and then I start cutting the top and the bottom separately since they're not lined up. The bottom is slightly longer than the front. And so all the seams and the bulk of the bottom of the t-shirt is cut off now. And we have extra fabric in case we want to use it to tie anything. So now we have just a thin, clean, raw edge. So I just stretch it out, let the ends roll up. And now we can start doing the actual cutting of the design. So to get the design, I'm going to be cutting a long straight row of horizontal cuts. And to get the 2 on the side, we're going to be doing the same thing, just horizontal lines that are thinner and straight all the way down. So I'm going to start with 2 rows on the side just so I can make sure I have enough room for the middle one later. I don't want to run out of room for the side ones. So I'm going to take the back layer of the t-shirt, separate the front and the back. Holding only the back, you'll want to fold this in half. So, making sure that you're only cutting 2 layers of fabric right now, not 4. You want to start, you'll just want to make sure that everything's lined up and straight. And using my metal ruler, I use this to make sure I'm cutting a straight line down the shirt. So if you freestyle doing all the cuts, you know, one might be longer, one might be shorter. And so you really want to make sure you're cutting all the way to the metal ruler. I kind of cut into it so that it stops me, so that every line is the same. So starting at the top of the shirt, I'm just going to start making really small cuts since there's not that much room on the t-shirt since it's a size small. If you're using a large oversized t-shirt, you'll have more room to make these cuts. So I'm just doing really thin cuts, about a pinky's width apart, 1 centimeter. So it doesn't matter, you know, how thick or how thin you make the strips as long as you're consistent, and it'll just give you different styles. So if you do really thin cuts, and especially since my t-shirt is a thin fabric, sometimes you'll have t-shirts that are like a thicker cotton. The thin ones, you'll see more skin in between. So the strings in between are thinner, and when you weave it, there's going to be more skin showing. If you do them thicker, it'll make the shirt bunch up more. So since they're thicker, they have to reach further to get to the next row, and so you'll have a scrunched up t-shirt effect. So if you have a really long t-shirt and you want to kind of shorten it, that's a good look too. So here is my first row of cuts. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side and try to match exactly as possible on the other side. I actually ended up doing it a little bit crooked, so I kind of moved in towards the shirt. So we'll see how the other side turns out. So here we go, 2 straight lines, not bad. I did it a little bit thinner at the top since there wasn't that much room between these 2 spots, so I did it a little bit more narrow here, and then it slowly got a little bit wider and wider toward the bottom. So if you like the look of this, you could actually leave it at this step. If you'd like on your t-shirt, you can try stretching out all the strings and then weaving it and see if you like that look. So here's the t-shirt with all the strings stretched out so far. So right now I'm just weaving one of the columns just to see how it looks and if everything's okay. You'll find that it's really tricky to weave it when it's really narrow at the top, but you just have to be patient and kind of just poke it through the holes. Be gentle, don't rip the rows, so just be careful. And if you're finding it too difficult, you might want to go back and just cut each horizontal strip wider just so it's easier to weave at the narrow parts. But once I got down to the middle part, it was much easier to weave since there's more room for my fingers to poke through the holes. Watch my animation video if you want to learn how to weave, because it's hard to show you on video how to do it with your fingers because fingers and strings are everywhere. When you do really narrow columns to weave, it's definitely more scrunched up here than here, and it's very tight. It looks really neat. Here it'll start to space out and you'll see more skin in between the rows. So those are just kind of the differences in what it will look like. So you may decide to do you want to do really skinny all the way down, or I did a skinny at the top and then it gradually gets more wide, or you can do wide all the way down, up to you. So here is the first row weaved. You might want to pull it to just stretch it out since it scrunches up. And I don't want to secure it yet because I want to try it on just to see how it looks. So I'm using one of these small bobby pins that I get when you buy shirts and the tags are attached. I'm just going to use it to just secure it to the t-shirt so it doesn't unravel. I just hooked the last loop to the shirt. So I'm going to weave the other side quickly and then try it on and see how it looks. So right now I'm trying on the t-shirt to see what the 2 columns look like at this stage. So as you can see, it actually made my t-shirt higher up because the weaving just bunched up the back. So it's shorter than it was before. So this might be a good technique if you're looking to bring up a long t-shirt, oversized t-shirt. And so here is the 2 columns in the back like this. And so as you can see, it gradually, you can start seeing more and more skin at the top. It's a lot closer together. And here's what the neckline that I cut out looks like as well. I forgot to mention. I like the size of the neckline. So this is a great subtle design if you just want to add a little something to the back of your t-shirt, but you don't want to do too much. You don't want to show too much skin. So this is a great design if you want to keep it as it is right now, just the 2 skinny columns. But if you want to do more, I'm going to take the shirt one step further and show you guys what that looks like. So I just realized I cut all of this and I didn't catch it on film. So apologies for not having this step on recording. So I'll just walk you through what I did. So basically, I just grabbed the middle part of the back of the t-shirt and the middle part of here. And picking up only the back of the t-shirt, I folded it in half. Here, so I lined up the two braids so I could get a middle point. And then I lined up the neckline so I could make sure like what I was cutting is even. I did similar to what I was doing before. So I used my metal ruler and I used this to just kind of space it out. So it's up to you to decide how close you want the braid to be to the middle weave. So I just did, okay, I'll just do a ruler's length all the way down. I was careful not to cut the strips too thin because this is an American Apparel t-shirt that they use to print on, so the fabric is thin, it's very comfortable, but if you cut things too thin, risk having the strings ripped apart. So just be cautious of that. If you're using a thicker material, the thicker cotton kind, you don't have to worry about it as much. You'll actually want to cut them thin so that since they don't curl as well as these shirts curl. So, and then after that, I just went through and weaved the middle row. And again, if you need to learn how to weave, I have my Weaving 101 animation video that you can watch where it clearly shows you the steps very slowly how to weave. Here it's difficult to show you in each video. And again, I'm going to secure it with pin. And I'll try this on for you guys. So I think the t-shirt might be a little bit shorter and a little bit more snug, but just slightly. It's definitely shorter in the back now that I've weaved the big one in the middle. But here's how it looks with the 3 columns. And you can see, you can still kind of see the logo here printed. Instead of leaving the 3 columns as just a basic weave, I'm going to try something different and show you guys how to do that as well. So this is why I don't like to do anything permanently yet. I'm going to undo this bobby pin and try something else with this design. Oh, and if you find that the t-shirt is actually too tight, you can just leave it unweaved. Just leave the design like this, right? You can always wear it like this. But with the idea I have in mind, I'm going to need some scrap string. So I'm taking the bottom seam that I took off from the bottom of the t-shirt here, and I'm gonna cut off the part with thread. Originally, it's the hem with the threads on the bottom, and this is the bottom of the t-shirt with a rounded edge. So I cut off this part first, and then I cut this in half. So there's 2 pieces here. So this is garbage, but I'm gonna just cut about that much. Let's try and see if this width is good. And so my idea is to grab about 6 strings and then tie them together. Similar to if you watched my making bows video. But this time, you're tying it together with strings to make little bows. And you want to tie the knot underneath so scrap fabrics aren't showing. Right now I'm just doing a single knot. Once you are happy with how it looks, you want to do a double knot and then cut off the ends. Make sure it's centered. So I'm going to try this on and see how it looks. So here's what the t-shirt looks like with the bows on the back. So now that you guys have the concept down, I'm going to see what I can do about getting, if I really want to get rid of the yellow here. So all of these strings I want to get rid of. So I'm basically wanting to cut a smooth line from this point down around here and then back up. So I just took out all this bows, and I just want to show you guys what it looks like in its simple form. So it's just strings straight across, and the logo's gone. So it's just a deep neckline in the back. So here's the final look of the t-shirt. So I've done the bows again, but this time it has a deeper neckline in the back, and the logo's gone. So here's how it looks. What do you guys think? The bottom curls up a bit, but that's alright. And so just some final steps if you're following along with the tutorial, that you just need to do some final touches up before you're actually done to secure the t-shirt. So you need to double knot all the individual knots and then snip off the ends so they're not sticking out. And then you need to secure the bottom of the two leaves. So that would mean on the last loop, you'll want to snip it in half and then tie knots just to secure it. Tie the knot with the layer above. So just anywhere just to secure it. And again, you can watch my animation video, the Weaving 101 video, just to get details on how to do that at the end of the t-shirt. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like the look.